as you know, when the Mack Daddy was running for the presidency back in 2008, Louis, the calypso dancer Farrakhan, said that that the Mack Daddy was the Messiah, and that of course, now you know the Messiah is a Jewish term. You do know that, right? I mean, you do have some understanding of theology and religion. But here's a Muslim saying that the Jewish Messiah has come, and he was born in Kenya and his mother was white from Kansas. The Kansas-Kenya baby, right? Like Superman, right? So Louis Farrakhan says, who's a Muslim who hates Jews, says that Obama is the Jewish Messiah for the Christians. And he said to all of his adherents of the Nation of Islam, black Muslim, he said to all of them, listen to this man because he is the one. I got it on tape. It was at the Savior's Day meeting back in 2008.
You are the instruments that God is going to use to bring about universal change. And that is why Barack has captured the youth. And he has involved young people in a political process that they didn't care anything about. That's a sign. When the Messiah speaks, the youth will hear. And the Messiah is absolutely speaking.
Now, let's fast forward ahead. Now that Farrakhan discovered that he did not get appointed as a diplomat or the ambassador to Egypt or to Libya or to any Tunisia, any Muslim nation, he thought that perhaps the Mack Daddy was going to make him an ambassador. It didn't happen. So he's been slamming the Mack Daddy ever since. Said he ain't a brother. He ain't the Messiah no more. And a whole lot of things have been saying about him as well. But Louis Farrakhan is not the only one that has been disappointed at the political appointments of the Mack Daddy before his election. They all were working very hard to get him into the office because they thought that, well, we're going to, see a whole lot of, up and coming or people very popular in the east side of the tracks. Plessy versus Ferguson, Board of Education versus Brown versus Board of Education, those who were alleged to be Dred Scott decision to people, and those who are the affirmative action, civil rights, those from the hood people, that side, they're called East Side people, except for the pensioners, Negroes. And then, of course, the West Side people are the people just on the other side. So a lot of people thought that Farrakhan was going to get an appointment. In fact, Harry Belafonte, remember, Dale, daylight come and you want to go home. Fix my plate of long bananas. Daylight come and I want to go home. I like cherries, apples, and bananas. Daylight come and I want to go home. Dale. Anyway, Harry Belafonte, y'all remember, it's the only song he ever had. Anyway, he thought he was going to get appointed to, to be the ambassador to Paris or something, maybe to China. And the Mack Daddy passed him by, so he's now slamming the Mack Daddy as well. And Cornel West, who is he's a philosophy professor, he says he's a theologian. He also says he's an ordained preacher, Baptist preacher. I believe that. And he was, when Al Shady Snitch Mob Rat Sharpton ran for the presidency back in, 2004, that Sharpton was his campaign manager. Cornel West was Sharpton's campaign manager, so Cornel West thought that surely that Obama was going to appoint him as Secretary of Education or some high-ranking position. And the Mack Daddy, he dissed all of them. He didn't even invite them to the inaugural ball, and went ahead and appointed a whole lot of people on the west side of the track and didn't even look at Farrakhan, Harry Belafonte, or Cornel West. All these guys are ticked off at him now, calling him a counterfeit, you know, ain't a homeboy, he ain't the real Messiah. You know, all that stuff they're saying about him now in the public. But the one person that did get the Mack Daddy's favor was Al Mob Rat Snitch Sharpton. He became the unofficial vice president of the East Side people. And he's doing well. You do know that, right? So you figure that the Mack Daddy passed over Farrakhan. He considered Farrakhan to one of the Muslim nations. You know, a little small nation, maybe Yemen or something like that, or Somalia. But he didn't. And he passed over Harry Belafonte, and passed over all the King boys and girls. And he didn't pull anybody from the East Side to be in his cabinet. And so they're all ticked off at him now. So Farrakhan, who is a has-been, quite frankly. Nobody really cares anything about Farrakhan.